So it's officially the holliest, jolliest time of year when Apple Music Replay and Spotify Wrapped both come out. I always think this is a fascinating time of year, and I really want to talk about it. First and foremost, before we get into anything here today, I think I should say, because I'm going to talk about these things in relatively negative terms, I should say, I think these are cool features. I actually think it's a really neat idea. I think they're fun. I just think the way that they, maybe either it's the effect they have is rather bad, or maybe it's just how people kind of use them and treat them. But I mean, just on their own, cool idea. I mean, shout out to the intern or whoever thought of that. Really great stuff. I'm sure I should say mine this year, I don't remember any of it, but my top artist was Lorde. That I remember. My top artist was Lorde, and I think The Strokes or someone. I know I listened to 60,000 minutes of music. That one I remember for some reason. I don't know why I don't remember anything else. But yeah, so I was fine with mine, but I want to have a couple observations here before I get into the main point of what I think these end up doing, these replay features end up doing. I want to make an observation. First of all, I'm sure you all have noticed this, or maybe you haven't. You know, I think that's something that should be stated right up front here, is like, this could be the most bubble-dependent video of all time. I have, every year, let's say I got between 50 and 100 people I know personally that like post these, and I'll see them, and I'll see the interactions with them. Maybe a couple like influencers I follow who I don't know, I'll see post them, you know, like stuff like that, right? But I mean, this is the most bubble video ever, right? Like, you know, who am I to prove that this is a mass cultural trend? But it seems to me to be one. I don't know, I'm comfortable enough saying it's like, it's not just me, and even if it is, oh well, I guess it was aged terribly. But with that being said, every year I see these get posted, and I see the same attitude form around these as they get posted. And it's kind of a weird thing, right? I'm sure you've all seen this, where it's almost like people treat their Spotify Wrapped as a force of nature. Like, they'll go like, oh my god, no way this was my top artist again. Like, as if they want a different result. And it's always so weird to me. The way it's, like, it boggles my mind. It doesn't exactly annoy me, right? Like, I'm fine with it. Like, I'm not, like, getting angry at these stories. I'm just always like, wait, why? Like, it genuinely doesn't compute to me on a logical level. Because, like, that's you. Like, you did that. Like, it's not like that didn't happen to you. You listened to that artist the most. I don't know why people just do this. I don't know. I mean, every year I see at least one person go like, oh, I hate that I have this artist as my top artist. And like, listen, unless you're listening to like, I don't know, the soundtrack to like a 1920 silent film on loop the whole year, I don't need an explanation of what you're listening to. I don't care what your top artist is. I think a lot of this is, and this in itself I think says something, is like, just like, I'll only really notice if there's an artist I listen to in there. Like, if I have a friend and I go through theirs, I'm like, oh, our music taste is more similar than I thought. That's the only time I notice. I can't tell you whose things I remember. Like, you know, it's all very fleeting, and that's why I think it's so interesting why people feel the need to explain and have these reactions that are, I guess, perhaps to distance themselves from their own taste in music. And that's weird, right? That's really weird. And going off from that, I want to talk about a separate thing, a separate app that does a very similar thing. It basically does the Wrapped feature of your whatever music platform you use, but over the course of the whole year. I believe it was called AirBuds or something like that. AirPods, no, those are the headphones. I don't remember exactly the name. I think it was AirBuds. I'm pretty sure it was AirBuds. But like, basically, you would log in and you would get all your friends' AirBuds, and then you would be able to see what your friends are listening to when. And, you know, as they listened to stuff, it would come up. I got this app. It was weird. It was one of those things, like, everybody got the app one week and it was gone the next week. Like, nobody cared about it. It was one of those apps, right? This might have been last year. This might have been over a year ago at this point, right? And I remember for the week I had this app, I hated it because I had to think about, you know, what if, like, somebody's going to see me listening to this music? Like, this isn't just, like, a thing I'm listening to now. Somebody's gonna see this. Like, this is going to be to be seen, right? And that's weird. Like, that's a weird thing to think, because you're sitting in your room at 3 a.m. listening to, like, you know, something that, because you're sad, or, you know, something that you're happy. Like, it's weird, right? And even, like, I remember I had a friend who, like, I remember when we had the app, it was like Ice Ice Baby. Is that the name of the song? It's like Ice Ice Baby, like that song. I guess that is the name of the song. That's the chorus, right? They were listening to Ice Ice Baby at like 8 a.m. sharp, right? And I sent them like I texted them like, oh, like, like woke up and got right to it today, huh? Like, you know, because that's a funny song to listen to the second you wake up. And like even like like that's a joke, that's a dumb thing, but like if somebody's tradition is to listen to Ice Ice Baby the second they wake up, that shouldn't be broadcast everywhere. You know, like some things generally should be personal. Like imagine if there was an app where you, like your internet browsing habits, right? Let's say like no matter what you were looking at, private browser, public browser, you know, whatever you were looking at, let's say it got broadcast to everyone you know, right? They had a widget where they would see what exactly you're browsing on the internet, every Google search, all that, right? You wouldn't want that. 99% of you would not want that, right? I'm gonna go on a limb and say that here. Where's the line then? Like, I personally wasn't cool with people seeing my music I'm listening to. With social media, we're cool with them seeing the photos we want them to see. Where's the line of like, this is my line in the sand, don't want anybody knowing what I'm doing on my phone besides that? Because it's weird, because we all know what our lines are in the physical world, right? Like, I don't want somebody with me at, you know, 3 a.m. when I'm gross and I'm like rotting in my bed as I doom scroll, right? But when it comes to like these digital things, do you want them seeing the music I listen to at 3 a.m.? I'm fine with somebody maybe seeing the music I listen to when I'm happy on my afternoon walk, but you know, 3 a.m., I don't know if I want that. Like, these are interesting questions, right? And mainly, I think if we're, you know, gonna try and bring this to a head here, why I'm saying this, I think it comes down to performing taste, and rather not wanting to have to perform taste, right? We all have a certain perception of ourselves, and people have another perception of us. Two very obvious statements we're all very familiar with at this point, right? I think that it should be stated up front here that, like, we're always, performing taste is not a new thing. Like, I think there's temptation, and I've seen this temptation, to, like, kind of make this out to be like an ill that has come out of social media of this age. I don't think that's necessarily accurate. You know, everybody who's ever bought a Gucci belt wasn't buying it because they thought Gucci had a beautiful design language. They were wearing it because they were going to go to the club and wear a Gucci belt, and people would think they're cool, and then they would get a date. Like, it's very much, that is performing taste, you know? And, you know, clothing is very much like that. That's a very outward thing. But when it comes to something like music, or the movies you like, or the books you read, you know, any of these things, these art forms that are, like, you kind of take in and you use in your day-to-day life and become sort of intrinsic to you, these are, like, kind of, I don't know if these should be displayed everywhere. I don't know if these should be seen everywhere, because the second that we start performing these things that are integral to our identity that shouldn't be thought about, that shouldn't be broadcasted, I think that could be bad. And I'm not like, listen, I think sometimes in videos like these, and I'm more than guilty of this myself, right? You know, an issue like this is not even an issue like this. See, that's the issue with a lot of this stuff. Everything's being made to be an issue now. I think it's more of an interesting discussion than a real, genuine issue. I do think, however, that this probably is affecting how people consume things, and I don't know where the line is. This is why I'll never be a good YouTuber in general, because I'm not good at hitting, you know, if I wanted this video to do well, I should hit these shock points. I should be like, man, we're performing taste, our identities are gone, we're hollow shells of ourselves, we're in a panopticon, and we're all dead. That would be a great line to hit here. I don't know how much of a thing this is, though. You know what I mean? Because, like, taste has become, now that everybody is doing this, like, even think about Letterboxd, right? I have a Letterboxd. You can see my favorite movies on there, right? That's like a thing where now you have a public list of your favorite movies. That's a performance of taste in some sort. And obviously there are more popular, socially acceptable movies than others. To be like, this is my favorite movie, especially with the culture on Letterboxd, right? This has led to, and I mean, this exists in albums, this exists in everything. Like, certain, like, these are the best, this is what's cool. Anything that breaks outside of that, you're gonna be, maybe not judged, but, like, you know, if somebody has on their letterbox their top 3 movies or whatever, they got like Citizen Kane, 12 Angry Men, and what's a big good movie? Give me one, guys. Come on. They have Seven Samurai. Those 3 movies, all old black and white movies. Is 12 Angry Men black and white? I don't know, but that's what they got up there, right? And then you go to another person's, and they have like, I don't know, Avengers Endgame, Wicked, and the first Dune movie, or the second Dune movie, or whatever. You're gonna look at that person, you're gonna look at those people very differently, right? Like, and that's definitely a thing, but how much of a thing is that? How much of that has always been a thing? Because there's just as easily another universe where one of these, where these pieces of art are treated differently and all that good stuff we always talk about. But like having something become a pillar of taste that everybody just accepts as like, this is a good thing, that you're a smart person if you like it. I mean, that's always been a thing. Citizen Kane, I just mentioned, that's a great example of it. Like, Citizen Kane has been around since the 40s, and it's always been considered the best movie. For a long time at least. I mean, now I think it's probably more in question than ever. I think people have more varied opinions on that movie than before, probably. But like, I know that when I've talked to people in my parents' generation, even the one above theirs, they're like, oh yeah, like when I was growing up in the 70s, you heard you had to watch Citizen Kane, it's the best movie ever made. That's fair. Some things are just gonna work like that, right? I think the difference now is that everything's public and online, and I think it's just leading to, you know what I think it is? Before, did we have these things that were like beacons of like, you would go out in the world and like, maybe if you're at a snobby artistic event, you would say your favorite movie, Citizen Kane, when you really liked, something that was like a little, I don't even know what a dumb movie from the 1940s is, because don't know that many movies from the 1940s, but maybe you'd say something else, right? That's probably always been a thing, right? But the difference is there's a very not thick line, there's a huge distinction, it's a very black and white distinction between when you go out versus when you get home and you turn back on that movie and you just watch your favorite movie without trying to think about it, right? Now that I think all our taste is performed right where we're sitting all the time, and we have ways to perform all of it, right? Whether it's music, whether it's movies, we have Goodreads for books, a platform I'm, thank God, not on. Like, now that it's all everywhere in our private lives, now I think it's where it gets like, I think there's just been a blurring of the lines. And you know what? I'm talking about art here because I know about art, like it's something I'm interested in, but I think this has occurred in a lot of different places, and I think that we could center a lot of our modern conversations sort of around this blurring of these lines, right? Of what we want to have out in the world versus what we want to keep, and how much of that we even get to decide anymore. Because it seems to me to be kind of less and less every day, right? But yeah, I guess that's my take. I don't really have a take. See, this is why I'll never get the bazillion views, because I'm just lukewarm on everything. This is the painting. Lukewarm on this too. Go check this out on the TikTok and Instagram. Until next time, guys, gals, and pals, my name is Max Dice. This is Paint Talk episode 339. I'm here every morning, painting and talking with you all.